Hi everyone. Hi Mom. I finished my journal, so I thought I'd share. I'm really happy with myself for, completing it in a week. I know some people could do 5 in a week. Yeah, I'm really not that kind of person. I did another single signature. Those are my favorite. And I went back this time to my vintage, which I love doing. This time I played a little bit with some paint, and it's I used this color, Opal Magic Green Gold. It is Prima paint. Just love it. It's very sticky. I think it was on my fingernails for 2 days. Because did I mention I'm a neat crafter? Yeah, not really. So I just painted the edges of this manila envelope. I believe it's a 6x9 folded in half, when it's folded in half. These papers I had left over from the, I think it's called Vintage Love, or it will be linked below, and it is a Dreamzetc kit from Etsy. Probably one of my favorite kits, I have to say. I did again do some frontage around the edge of the book. You can see it here, and that one, I think that's the metallic mix, that color. So it's a bit of black in it and some copper and gold, and it's all mixed in together. The Tim Holtz corners. I did use a matte finish. This is what I used, was the Krylon, and it is a low odor. So you can spray it in the house. It still has a smell, but it's not too bad. I didn't, however, spray it in the house. I did go outside. And it is very matte, like not just a little. It is like, it looks like I didn't do anything. And I sprayed it twice. So it's definitely, if that's the look you're going for and you want to seal something, that's a really nice product to use. And it dries super fast. Also did my golden gold mica flakes, and it's a gel medium with the little flakes of gold in it. I think that shows. Yeah, all that sparkly. So now it did sort of give shiny, like, because it is a gel medium, it is shinier than my matte, but I actually like the contrast of it, so I left it. I was going to go over it again, but I really didn't want to dull down the mica flakes at all. I did spray over this. I used a stencil in some spots and just did some, I don't even know what it's called. It's just a crackly look. And I just used the paint. And when I sprayed over it with the matte, it did dull it down a little bit. So I didn't want that to happen with the mica flakes, which is why I left it. I did add a metal piece here, and I didn't even glue it on. I just used the hitch post, and it, holds it on really well. And again, the hairband that I used the alcohol ink on, because that's my last one. So off to the dollar store I go. Okay, now the inside, this I believe is a, you know what? I don't know. Does it matter? Yeah, it's Prima. It is Prima. From a stack of, I think the 9, I don't know what it's, A2, A3, I don't know. I never remember those A thingies, but the long skinny one. So I used this here, which is the Distress Collage Medium, and it's vintage, so it does change the color. This was quite a white background, and I didn't obviously want white because of the vintage theme, so I adhered it with that. And what I did was, you guys know what brayers are, some of you might not. This is my old scungy one. This is what I use when I'm, putting on my decoupage and stuff to, roll down the paper so it sticks. Well, because this is my gungy one, I purposely rolled it and then rolled it into the stuff that squishes out and then rolled it back over so that it just kind of gave that mottled look to it. That way I wasn't wasting any, so I didn't add any to the top. I just used what squeezed out on the sides and rolled over top. So this book pretty much is just a collection of things I've had, you know, that bits and pieces you don't use, but they're still good and you don't want to get rid of them. Anyway, I had these little pocket things from Michael's. This was from when I did my book for, what was it called? Alice in Wonderland book. What is her name? Marion Smith collection. This was part of the ephemera, which I didn't really feel went with the whole look, but I liked it. So I hauled a bunch of stuff out. That was part of it. Some of these also, I don't even know where. I think these are the Kirby Teasdale. I don't know where I got them. I think somebody gifted them to me. It might have been Kachita. She might have gifted those to me. Anyway, they're good little journaling spots. I really don't love these envelopes from Michael's. They don't glue them properly when they put them together. So you end up with a ridge inside and everything gets stuck on the ridge. And I find that really annoying. So anyway, later. The corner punch is this one. And it's called Bubbles, Martha Stewart. And then I did this, which I saw on, who did I see it on? Yvonne White's channel, how you add your tuck spot, but you leave it so that you can fold it open and still journal. So you don't actually lose any room on your page. You actually gain extra room. You gain this much more. So I love that idea. I really, really loved it. So I threw it in there, and then this was one of the envelopes that come with the kit. I had extras, so I cut it apart because I wanted more journaling spots, and I wanted to cover some tags. Again, this was from a signature that I had made and never used, so I started pulling stuff apart and throwing whatever fit in here. All these little things. I think that is from Marion Smith, maybe? I think it might be. And I covered it with gesso that I've colored, sorry. So this was the gesso. I had a little bit left in the bottom, and I guess that's Pro Art. And all I did was add a little bit of beige to the gesso itself. And it doesn't dry up, you know, stays great. So you can add a little bit of paint color to your gesso to change the color. I don't like white. You guys know that. So anyway, I wanted to make this writable. This was a leftover piece of that craft text. I just mounted this cute little image that's from Valentina. And then again, I had these little things left over. This is a new die that I picked up, and it's, it'll come to me, you guys. Yeah, it's there. It's not coming out. It will. Okay, I just made out of a manila folder the long tag. I love that look, and I tea-stained it, stamped it. This was also Marion Smith, so I backed it because you couldn't write on it. It was all patterned. I backed it on a sheet of my paper that I created in my Photoshop. And then again, another one of the flip-out thingies. I don't know what you're calling them, but yeah, I think they're cool. I found this at the dollar store, a pad of paper. You know how you used to write your letters? You know, uppercase, lowercase. I love that. And then tea-stained doilies, some tracing paper. This was leftover pink printer paper that I think I coffee stained these ones. This was left over from a Bo Bunny collection. Backed it again on some of my paper. These little cutouts are Anna Griffin, is where I got those. So these are Anna Griffin, and they're actually 2 journal spots, and I didn't, you know, I kind of like that look, so I left it like that. I cut off pages from paper that I'd used. This is a kid's art book thing. Dollar store again. This here I've had forever. They're Magenta, which I believe is a Canadian company. And it's, yeah, cork. I had taken a class, a card class, and they were using these, so I bought the sheet because I thought they were pretty cool. Yeah, Magenta cork. And I colored them with my Copic markers. This was one of my index cards I made on a manila envelope. And this is the Sizzix Tim Holtz. I think it's ornate frame number 2. I don't know where I got this from. Somebody probably gave it to me. This was a download from, I believe, Christie Art. And this was a cutout from, I don't know. But yeah, stuck it on there to make a picture frame. And then I inked up the backs. When they were white, I used linen, the distress ink from Tim Holtz. And a corner flip. And this little stamp is a Prima. All of the swirl stamps are, I've got my book here. I think it's Inka Dinka Doo. Yes, Dot Flourish is what it's called, by Inka Dinka Doo. And doilies, and another index card. This was just a leftover piece I had. This is another image that was given to me. I just fussy cut it out. Sticker, from this, Sweet Nothings sticker sheet, Kaisercraft. I don't know, found it in my stash. Some pieces of lace, and I just sort of rolled up a piece of ribbon, little sort of rosebud. Same here, just some leftover pieces, and I sewed a little button on the corner. This also is the Anna Griffith. Am I on frame? Oh, sorry, guys. I just love that sound. I know it bugs some people, but I really like it. And all of these little pieces here are cut apart. Well, it's like a sheet, and you just cut the wording out. And I can't remember who that's from, but I've had it for a really long time. Okay, so here's an example. This was part of the envelope, so I just attached it to one of the Rangers, I think. It's a Rangers tag. And again, another fold out. Some more writing paper. There's lots of journaling in here. There's to-do lists and calendars and upcoming events. Here's one of the envelopes. I did use it to cover some of the stitching and then just put some index cards in there for journaling. And there's a daily calendar. I like these because it doesn't matter what the month is. Week of. This piece here was from a signature that I had gotten from Denise that didn't fit in the book she made me. Another one of the tags. Now this one I collaged and then I went over it with this stuff to make it more vintage looking, and just stuck a little. These are Prima trim that I picked up when I went down to Joanne's a couple weeks ago. Bingo card, some coffee stain trim, just a bunch of layering here for a tuck spot. This one here I sprayed up. I think I want to rub some darker color over it. It's a little bit too bright. I'll probably do that. So there's some cheesecloth and some eyelash trim. I did pick up some eyelash trim in, this one's cream. I bought white, because can you believe it? I didn't have white. I've got pretty much every color of the rainbow. Didn't have white. So when I was down at Joanne's, I picked that up. I think I got it at Joanne's. Anyway, this one here I did as a magnet, so that's the inside of the envelope part that you can just use as a tuck spot. I used the little flower to cover the other part of the magnet, and then it just holds that in place. I think I am going to rub over that. It's a bit too bright. I love this. And I just noticed it says Honolulu, Hawaii. So, yeah, guess what? Keeping this book. Another tuck spot. Let's see, what do I have? I don't really have anything to, but you can see it's a tuck spot. The little butterfly, super cute. Little Bee is who makes those. Paid way too much money for them, but they're just adorable. I had to have them. Just layers of trim. This one I sprayed with Glory of the Seas Gold, the Lindy's. Love that color. And this is from Tsunami Rose. It was a download. It's black and white. And so I just bought that I don't know, that spray ink from Rangers, and I love the feel of it. It feels so cool. It went a bit dark. I was just playing, but anyways, I just backed it on a piece of lined paper that I made, and made this flower. So I think the flowers are from Michaels. I believe they're the Michaels brand, whatever that's called. The center is, don't know, don't remember. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I just want to tell you, when you use the tool, it's flat, right? I had a piece somewhere, I don't know where it went. Super flat. So when you're laying it on a flower, it doesn't really stand out too much. So you get your flower together, and I actually colored these up with my gelatos. So my gelatos I bought the kit, so it comes with this really nice brush. So what you do is you lightly mist your flower, and I used white flowers this time. I bought I bought all of these. I separated them all into size, and anyway, you lightly mist with water, and then you choose the colors that you want, and then you use the brush and you can smear them around, and you can layer color after color, which I did, and then I graduated it up. I wanted for you to be able to see the different levels of flowers, so I went lighter in the middle, and then I did a couple of different colors of pink, plus I did one called Cafe au Lait, but I wanted something more textured, so I brought out my tool. I have like loads of that stuff, you guys, and I always forget that I have it. So I layered it up, gluing them together as I went. Once I got to the top, then you take your heat tool, and I usually use this one just because it doesn't blow as hard, and you just start to heat it up, and it'll all go crinkly, and it just looks really cool. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, almost done. I love this page. Actually, I love the whole kit. It's just a beautiful kit. I made a 2-year calendar out of it. And then again, I did another tag where I just used some of the paper from an envelope, and another flip up. I used one of those jelly roll pens, but it didn't shine as much as I was hoping, so I switched to a darker pen. But I just did the dot dash. I used to do this a lot in my scrapbooking just to add something. And I love how Yvonne always does the faux stitching around there. I didn't want to copy her 100%, even though I love her ideas. So I just did some X's instead of the straight stitching. Yeah, we scrap lift all the time, right? And one more flip. There's the other side of that. You can see that it's out of a file folder. It's got the embossing there. All writable places though, right? And another flip. This one says be true. And then I had this in my I think I actually used that as a demo one time on the gel medium. So it's been sitting in there forever. So I decided that, I would just make a little pocket in the back and layer some lace. I really wanted this to be feminine and really vintage looking. And I wanted a lot of bits of lace and bits and bobs of stuff. That's really because I love Beth's books, and she does a lot of that. And I thought, I'm going to try it. Mine still don't look nearly as nice as hers. I love the way she just adds the trim in all the right places. Anyway, I tried. So, again, I scrap lifted. But there's my journal. One thing I wanted to tell you about, because people were asking me about these as well. A lot of people have these eyelets, and they come with the backs. And some people are struggling with, putting them in. So there's 2 tricks. One is that the backs are actually concave and then rounded on one top. The rounded part is what you want facing you, okay? When you put this through a hole, so here's my trusty let me grab my Crop-A-Dile. So I'll just punch a large hole. And these are extra large eyelets, so they're still not large enough. So then I just take a pencil and, or the hole's not large enough is what I meant, and just push it down a little bit more so that you can get this through easier, okay? Now I'm not going to squeeze it, you guys, but because you're going through layers in your book, you usually end up with a ridge of paper. So I take my fingernails and I push all the way around until that is nice and flat, because this part is curved, so you can actually get it below the line, so it won't be sticking up, okay? And then the curved part, like the bubble part, is facing up, so you put that down here. And then, like I said before, when you start, you gently push, gently, and then take this out to see if that's starting to dome out. That's what you want. If it's not, if it's going inward, then I usually take a pair of pliers and force it out so that it's all in the right, going in the right direction. Once I'm happy with that, then give a good firm squeeze. And this, you know, it just protects it from going through. And it's nice and clean finish. I don't know if it shows on this side. Let's open this up and see if you can see that. Yeah, see, it pretty much covers the whole ring, but it's just extra strength is, yeah, it's all it's for. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. That was a question. I told you about the gesso, and I think that's all I was going to pass along. As I went through the book, I thought, oh, there's a few things that I wanted to mention to you guys, but you know, it's called the brain. Doesn't work all the time. Memory Box Dies. I told you I would remember who that was by and what die was I was referring to. Oh yeah. This one, I've got it sitting here too. Oh man. Here it is. This is what I bought. I thought it was super cool. So I had seen a card at the craft store that I go to, and what they had done is cut it out of fun foam, but they had put the double-sided tape on the fun foam and cut it out, and then they used glitter on it. And I thought, well, you know, why am I going to all that trouble and all that mess when I have glitter paper? So that's what I did. I absolutely love the look of it. This one is called Square Links is the name of this one. Anyway, I thought it would make a really cool addition to some of my books. So that's it. That's my share. Glad that I was able to post on the Sunday. I made it. It's been a week. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week coming up, and we will talk soon. Bye.